Have you ever been told at a health checkup that your blood pressure is too high? When your doctor recommended starting exercise, did you feel overwhelmed about which type to choose? The gym feels intimidating, running seems hard on your knees, and you wonder if just walking could really make a difference. I faced this exact dilemma when my father was diagnosed with hypertension. What I discovered then is something I need to share with you today. In 2024, the British Heart Foundation published shocking research findings. There are exercises as effective as blood pressure medication. What's even more surprising is that these exercises are simpler than you might think. We're talking about cycling and power walking. But here's the crucial question. Which one is more effective for lowering blood pressure? Today, I'm going to give you a complete comparative analysis of how cycling and power walking affect blood pressure, all backed by scientific research. By the end of this video, you'll have clear criteria for choosing the exercise that's perfect for your situation. And at the very end, I'll reveal the secret to combining both exercises for maximum benefit. Don't miss it. First, we need to understand exactly why high blood pressure is dangerous. Many people think slightly elevated blood pressure is no big deal, but this is a truly dangerous misconception. According to World Health Organization data, hypertension causes 9.4 million deaths worldwide every year. What's even scarier is that more than half of people with high blood pressure don't even know they have it. This is why it's called the silent killer. Normal blood pressure is below 120 systolic and 80 diastolic. However, if your systolic is 130 or above and diastolic is 80 or above, you're classified as stage 1 hypertension. Here's what matters. Even a 20-point increase in systolic pressure doubles your heart disease risk and triples your stroke risk. This comes from a Harvard Medical School research team that tracked 120,000 people for 30 years. But here's some incredible news. The University of Melbourne in Australia conducted revolutionary research. They studied 350 hypertension patients divided into 3 groups. The first group only took blood pressure medication. The second group did cycling 5 times per week. And the third group did power walking 5 times per week. What were the results after 6 months? The medication-only group saw an average systolic blood pressure reduction of 12 points, but the cycling group reduced it by an average of 15 points. And the power walking group reduced it by an average of 13 points. Exercise alone produced similar or better results than medication. Even more impressive, the exercise groups lost an average of 4.2 kilograms, with no medication side effects, and their cholesterol levels improved too. So let's examine the mechanism by which cycling lowers blood pressure. When you cycle, amazing changes happen in your body. The moment you push the pedals, large leg muscles activate and your heart begins pumping blood more efficiently. According to research from the University of Copenhagen's Exercise Physiology Department, regular cycling increases left ventricular volume by an average of 18%. What does increased left ventricular volume mean? It means your heart can pump out more blood with each beat. This means your heart doesn't need to beat as often to circulate the same amount of blood. The cardiology department at Leipzig University in Germany measured that people who cycled for 3 months reduced their resting heart rate by an average of 8 beats per minute. This is the core mechanism for lowering blood pressure. There's another crucial effect. Cycling dramatically improves vascular elasticity. As we age, our blood vessels become increasingly stiff, which is one of the main causes of hypertension. A research team at Tsukuba University in Japan experimented with 80 hypertension patients in their 60s. After cycling for 30 minutes daily for 12 weeks, vascular elasticity improved by an average of 23%. This is equivalent to making blood vessels about 10 years younger. Another major advantage of cycling is minimal joint stress. According to analysis by Stanford University's orthopedics department, cycling produces 85% less impact on knee joints compared to running. This makes it an ideal choice for hypertensive patients who are overweight or have knee problems. A study at Amsterdam Medical University found that hypertensive patients with arthritis who cycled reduced their blood pressure by an average of 14 points, while their joint pain actually decreased by 32%. But here's an important point. The intensity of cycling significantly affects blood pressure reduction. McGill University in Canada conducted an interesting comparative study. Even with the same cycling, the low-intensity group reduced blood pressure by an average of 8 points, while the moderate-intensity group reduced it by an average of 16 points. Moderate intensity means you're slightly out of breath, but can still hold a conversation. That's about 60 to 70% of your maximum heart rate. So what about power walking? Power walking isn't simply walking fast. It's a technical exercise where you swing your arms widely, take longer strides, and push off the ground from heel to toe. According to Mayo Clinic's definition, power walking means walking at a speed of 5.6 to 7.2 kilometers per hour. The University of Glasgow in the UK published amazing research results. They ran a power walking program for 200 patients with pre-hypertension. After 40 minutes daily, 5 times per week for 12 weeks, systolic blood pressure dropped by an average of 11 points and diastolic pressure dropped by an average of 7 points. Even more impressive, 68% of participants were able to reduce or stop their blood pressure medication. The mechanism by which power walking lowers blood pressure is similar to cycling yet uniquely different. According to research from the Karolinska Institute in Sweden, power walking uses muscles throughout the body evenly while improving blood flow in peripheral vessels. In particular, the calf muscles act as pumps, efficiently returning blood pooled in the lower body back to the heart. This reduces strain on the heart and naturally lowers blood pressure. The Cardiovascular Institute at the University of Paris in France conducted a special experiment. They precisely measured the vascular condition of hypertension patients before and after power walking. After just one 40-minute power walking session, vascular dilation capacity immediately improved by 19%. This effect lasted up to 6 hours after exercise. When done regularly every day, these effects accumulate to bring long-term blood pressure stability. Another major advantage of power walking is accessibility. It requires no special equipment, and you can do it anytime, anywhere when weather permits. The School of Public Health at the University of Sydney in Australia conducted a 5-year tracking study. 1 year later, 43% of people who started cycling were still exercising, while 67% of those who started power walking were still maintaining their routine. Given that sustainable exercise is ultimately the best exercise, this is a major strength of power walking. But here's one more truly fascinating research finding. The University of Barcelona in Spain directly compared cycling and power walking. When exercising for the same time at the same intensity, cycling burned about 15% more calories. However, the blood pressure reduction effect was almost identical. What does this mean? If you need more weight loss, cycling is better. But if your only goal is blood pressure management, power walking is equally effective. So which exercise is better? For whom? Let me give you specific criteria right now. There are cases where you should choose cycling. First, if you have a body mass index above 30, meaning severe obesity with hypertension. Research at Imperial College London found that severely obese hypertensive patients who cycled had 73% lower injury risk compared to power walking. When you're significantly overweight, even walking can strain your joints. Second, if you have existing knee or ankle problems. An orthopedic hospital research team in Milan, Italy tracked 120 hypertensive patients with knee arthritis. The cycling group saw blood pressure decrease while joint pain improved, but 23% of the power walking group experienced worsening knee pain and dropped out. Third, if you have difficulty exposing yourself to extreme heat or cold, using an indoor bike allows you to exercise in a consistent environment regardless of weather. A University of Toronto study found that the group Doing indoor cycling in winter had 2.4 times higher exercise adherence than the outdoor power walking group. I sincerely hope this video becomes the catalyst that changes your life. If this video helped you, please hit that like button and share it with anyone you know struggling with hypertension. Don't forget to subscribe and turn on notifications. Leave comments about your blood pressure management experiences or questions, and I'll respond to each one with care. In the next video, I'll cover in detail the best diet for hypertension and foods to avoid, since exercise and dietary changes together double the effect. Please look forward to it. I'm rooting for your healthy transformation. Start today. You can do this. Thank you.